everything from end-to-end process pharmacovigilance, by which I mean literally from case intake, where we have patient-friendly and I hope healthcare professional-friendly apps, through the case processing work that every company has to do by law, all the way through to some early concepts around decision-making on causality, seriousness, and really aiding the process to help us improve quality, to help us improve standardization, and even perhaps to reduce the time it takes to process each report. So this is a reality. It's no longer a concept, it's in place and it's working today. I don't think it's so much an openness, it's going to be enforced. If you can't deal with this, you're going to be overtaken by competition, by parallel companies. In a sense, we all have to adapt to change. Even at my grand old age, I know how to use an iPhone and iPad. I do have social media accounts and I know how to use them. But in reality, we all have to be pragmatic. We have to do things that work for us. In the same way, not every company will favour every system. So I used an example this morning, a respiratory automation tool. If you don't have respiratory products in your portfolio, completely irrelevant. So horses for courses in a sense, some applications, some automation will work in most settings, but some only in isolated places. They have, and what I'll say and what I have said in the recent past, probably around 30, maybe even as high as 35% of the cases that come into Novartis, individual patient reports, have some sort of robotic touch today. My belief sincerely is within 2 to 3 years it'll be closer to 90, 95%. And this is not a discourtesy to anyone involved. It's really leading to a change of emphasis and change of role within my company. We're not trying to pay any disregard to data content. We're trying to make it standard, harmonized and streamlined. And equally take care that at the end of each robotic process there's a human check. That is key. I can recommend on the basis of our experience, it's worked in our context with our portfolio. Am I going to do more of it? Frankly, yes. It's going to be a softly approach in the sense of we have to validate software, we have to test robots, and we have to have what I'll describe broadly as a known corpus, a body of evidence against which we can compare the results of the automation. If we're not doing that, we're letting ourselves down and letting our patients down. We cannot rely on the machine to work 100% of the time. Key steps is really to take it slowly, to pilot, to assess, evaluate each pilot, and to an extent at each decision point make the right call. One example I've given is around causality assessment, which sounds completely impossible. You'd have to have artificial intelligence of a medical brain. Well, frankly, you don't. If you want to look at causality assessment, the key question that we found was, can you assess the data that you have? So if your report is lacking biological plausibility, evidence of a temporal association, the close timing of drug and outcome, then medically no perfect expert physician brain could assess that report. So what we're trying to do is filter out the unassessable, rather than trying to create the physician's brain to do the heavy causality assessment that requires grey cells.